So we continue on with those delicious lessons to learn. All these lessons aim at knowing Christ, Christ beyond form. And learning to forgive, release, and overlook the world of form. And it should be easy because it is a projection. It was never there in the first place. Projection made of perception, likes and dislikes. So today we practice lesson 293. All fear is past and only love is here. All fear is past and only love is here. All fear is past because its source is gone and all its thoughts gone with it. Love remains the only present state whose source is here forever and forever. Can the world seem bright and clear and safe and welcoming with all my past mistakes oppressing it and showing me distorted forms of fear? Can the world seem bright and clear and safe and welcoming with all my past mistakes oppressing it and showing me distorted forms of fear? Yet in the present love is obvious and its effects apparent. Yet in the present love is obvious and its effects apparent. All the world shines in reflection of its holy light, and I perceive a world forgiven at last.
Father, let not your holy world escape my sight today, nor let my ears be deaf to all the hymns of gratitude the world is singing underneath the sounds of fear. There is a real world which the present holds safe from all past mistakes, and I would see only this world before my eyes today.
So again, we allow whatever is there just to be seen. Just check in how you're feeling. And we use these words, all fear is past and only love is here. As we go into this meditation. As you're able to release any fear, any block, you will just feel this softness of present moment. Floating above the world. It's all about seeing specifics in the mind that are blocking this experience. And once you see them, they go away. And whatever you look at, you release. And with fear, the more you look at fear, the less you see of it. The more you look at any issue you have, the less you will see of it. The world doesn't seem bright and clear and safe and welcoming if we have our past mistakes, if we drag past mistakes and put them in front of us, then we won't see the brightness. We won't feel the connection and the love. But once we look at guilt or any issue, we can allow it to be removed. There is a real world which the present holds safe from all past mistakes. So when you come to this point, you can have very, very delicious experiences, beautiful meditations. But there may still be things to talk through and to release through joining. This is a course about relationships. And to just talk about what is disturbing, that is a very helpful thing, very quickening. So we can open the room if anyone has anything you'd like to share. Did you reach your hand also? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I felt I felt so touched by the lesson.
Yeah.
And it's like I melt in and out of this. Actually, all fear is gone, and then there pops up situations, where I have felt fear, and some of them I just melt into it, and I feel like they go away. And then there are some fears that yeah. So, and regarding all those fears, first there's a fear, and then there's fear on the fear, because I'm fearful that I will never get rid of it and become well again. So I can see fears, you know. And the funny thing is also that, well, it's not so funny. I'm very hard on myself for not dealing better with it, but I can just have a conversation with, just not a normal sort of hangout conversation, but sometimes with the doctor or with this Försäkringskassan or my boss, which I'm now off work, and then I hang up, and then I'm in a reaction, you know. So I've been having this talk, and I haven't been present enough to stay with all fear is gone and only love is there. I can't keep it. So when the end of the call is there, because I have this thing, you know, I'm like allergic to, you could say I'm allergic to stress and tension and shit. So I go bad in my head again. And I observe, we had such a beautiful lesson yesterday, and then it was just so clear. I hang up the phone and I just, what just happened? Obviously, I'm invested in having it a certain way, or fear of not being understood, or fear of it going not my way, you know. So, yeah. And it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't see it as loss of peace. See it as, okay, more healing, more layers coming up. You know, it was already there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you just did the lesson, you know, only love is here. I bring up my shit and I'm hopeless case. And then you put it back to me, you know, fearless and only bringing me love. Yeah, that's not how I see myself. So thank you. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many layers of unworthiness and self-doubt.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like not God's will, my will. You know, that's what I'm up to sometimes. No, it's supposed to go this way. Listen. No wonder I get dizzy and exhausted. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, many things are about letting go of control.
Wow, I feel this tingling peace now in my whole system again. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Francois next.
What I want to place on the altar is last night I had a deep realization I mean, I had this before, but about the special love relationship. And I will never have a special love relationship.
Ho, ho, ho.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's what I was actually living for. I didn't never thought of it, but it was always in my subconscious. That's what I wanted, or the ego wanted, that special love relationship. Somebody that comes
Romantic.
and yes, says how beautiful I am, how worthy I am, how somebody who adores me, and then I got the image of Sleeping Beauty. The prince comes and kisses her, and it's almost like that person will be the salvation.
Yeah, it's
And
strong beliefs.
yes, it was just a deep, just the deep of and yes, like was really a deep acceptance, of, and it's like in the end of the movies, the girl or the guy gets the girl or the guy, and then I thought maybe in the end of the movie I get God, and then the ego went, that's for other people. You just, all these are deep unworthiness.
Yeah, you will get God in the end, and if you don't have God, it's not the end. and
Yes.
and yeah, I mean, it's great to look at these romantic ideas, and wanting to be special, but you cannot wake up through avoiding anything. So it's more like to give over your prayers to spirit, the longing for the connection, and allow, whatever is most helpful will come to you. Yeah. Because it is an undoing of specialness. The whole journey is, and the whole world is a projection of specialness.
Yes. That's exactly the thought, exactly, Jenny, because yes, it's the whole identity of look at me, love me. And then that's exactly that's the ego, because I am love. I can't look outside for it, but it's just really a deep core thing for me. I realize that's what hit me last night. I really wanted somebody, come along and say, be this romantic hero and save me from myself, kind of thing. And that's not gonna happen. And then obviously, and then I thought God, and then the ego said, and that's, and that was just a sad feeling, In the end, I get nothing. that's what the ego keep on repeating.
Well, in the end,
Oh God.
you do get God, because that's how all the stories end. But it's not up to you what it's going to look like between now and then in your experience.
Yeah. So allowance. And if you find yourself, wanting to call somebody or join with somebody, to allow to do that.
I get, just like I know you and Barret don't have a special love relationship, but somebody just that you can share your interests, your little small details, or maybe I'm just starved for affection, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or somebody just who I can share my life with, and see, and that just eats me up, because and other photos, I don't like the special love relationship, because it feels so exclusive, like nobody is joined in it. You know, this is my special mind.
Also, you can get very, you can have a lot of thoughts when you are fearful of taking some steps. So I think things will naturally occur more and more the more steps you take, because there can be a lot of thinking, longing, thinking. Yeah. So if you have a lot of time on your hand, ask Spirit, how should I use my time? What would you have me do? What is my next step? What is the helpful next step for me? Pray, and and we can support you too in exploring the guidance. Yeah.
It's yes. It's probably everything.
It's very natural to connect.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe connecting soon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Barret. Love you.
Love you, Franz.
Love you too. I'll give you some affection.
Sending you a hug. Any other blocks to love that needs to be put on the table, put on the altar? And
hi everyone. Yeah, it feels like a really silly thing, but what seems to be happening a lot, and I noticed it very much this morning when I'm meditating, there's like this real sense of freedom comes in. I don't know how to describe that, but at the same time, it's like I'm getting bitten by mosquitoes when there are no mosquitoes. And I really feel like, oh, and it's really sharp, and it happens all over my body. It's like, oh, that's really sharp. And it's really, it does get my attention, and eventually I have to scratch it. So it sounds really silly, but it's actually, the thing is, I do sometimes get bitten by a mosquito. It's more rare now because it's getting more winter time, but so I don't know what that's all about, but it's
it's all imagination, even real mosquitoes or unreal mosquitoes are the same. So it's more like a disturbing thought. There is something coming up when you go deep. It's more like the guilt, actually. The ego's guilt is like, okay, not so fast, Anne. Don't go so deep. Do you think you have peace? I'm going to show you. That's how guilt is. It's like coming up like that. So to look at it and question it, even when you feel that, as if you're stung by a mosquito, there is no mosquito, you can just go away, guilt.
I do try to do that, but rarely do I succeed to get past it. So I guess it's just keep practicing.
And you can see if there is another disturbing thought or belief that is like a mosquito in your mind.
It was interesting because I just handed it over, And then I got a message from Raphael about our joining this morning. And it's like, oh, yeah, I feel a bit, uncomfortable about the connection. And yeah.
Mhm. So that's the mosquito right now.
But there's a mosquito. Yeah. And there was also a thought came in about my son Daryl, and it's like, yeah, maybe it's time to join with him. I don't quite know. But it's, yeah, it feels like it's more about love, but I'm not entirely sure. You know, a time to join from the right mind and not from oh, it's time to join sort of thing. So yeah, a couple of thoughts in there though. Yeah.
So there is a desire to share with him that you love him, or extend. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know why I'm crying, but it feels okay. It feels kind of like, oh, just something moving.
Yeah. Dead mosquitoes falling away with the tears. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Vanessa?
Yeah, I'm not so clear, but maybe if I start to share, yeah, okay. But I feel a lot of fear, I have been having many dreams with a lot of from my past, people from the past, and many weird situation in my dreams. And then I have this feeling when I wake up, I wake up with a lot of fear. And also in this house and where we are, Jonas was sharing with me the other day that he was going through his feeling oh my God, the word just go away. He's feeling attracted to the woman here. And I just realized that maybe because of the fear, instead of I feel jealous, I push him, said, yeah, go and explore. And I don't know, sometimes I think it's honest. It comes to this place like just explore what's going on. But today, especially, I don't know, I feel like I was curious in my mind. I was trying to look at my mind and say, maybe, what is that? What is that? And it's because of the fear. I'm pushing him, say, yeah, go and see what is there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be. It could be an avoidance of really exploring deeper what comes up. Maybe even together with him.
Yeah, and related with Francois sharing is I can see I still have this thought in my mind that the most helpful things for me would just be in a kind of monastery, just serving God and don't think about, just serving.
Yeah, but you don't want to avoid any feelings.
Sometimes relationships seem to be so difficult, so
Yeah.
it's difficult to have this kind of relationship where there is no mask, there is no people pleasing,
Yeah, it can be very, that's why relationships are can be so much healing, because there can be so much fear and the mask comes up and the avoidance, even lying or even secrets. Because there's still so much guilt and fear in the mind, and but that's why the arena of relationships are also the fast track to awakening, because you cannot avoid seeing your own mind. You can't avoid seeing all the difficult feelings that come up. Yeah, so it feels insightful that you're realizing maybe I avoided something. Maybe the fear is like pushing him away now. Or a mask of, oh, I am very allowing. I'm not affected. There could be a mask or a self-concept there saying, okay, you go and explore. I'm fine, But underneath there are some strong, maybe hurt or maybe other feelings. And maybe, maybe there is more that to allow up. Talk to Jonas. Yeah, I think it's tempting. It can be very tempting, tempting to avoid relationships because of fear, because of hurt, and to have a life in a monastery, or I'm just going to serve God and be with God. I think all of us have done that in the past. We have been monks and nuns and giving over our lives to God in that way, in form, and avoided relationships. But now you're in the middle, you just got married in the middle of this, deep assignment with Jonas. And you can't be in it and remove yourself from it at the same time. You're in it. And there's there needs to be full allowance for you there to talk, to allow your feelings, to be with them, whether you take time alone, with prayer, or to talk with him about things. Yeah. And it's okay to have some shared agreements in a marriage. Say, I'm not okay with this or that. This would scare me. This wouldn't feel right to me. Or this I'm open, just to share what you feel with him. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's very important to have those deeper sharings, not to avoid talking about what's going on together in the relationship. We can't sit here and do the lesson. All fear is gone. Only love is here. If we're stuffing emotions and then it's time to join together. Yeah. Is there anything more for this session? Anyone else want to join about something? Matthew?
Yeah, I just feel to share kind of, I guess it's a miracle. The healing journey, it seems to be so deep. I feel like some nights it's like I'm healing like just accumulated karma that's been building and building for lifetimes possibly. I feel like that's what is coming up during some nights. And sometimes it carries over the next day, this kind of just this emotion that's still there. And this is what happened to me yesterday, the night before last, but it's just a great feeling when it actually moves through, even though you're not doing anything. All I did was just allow myself to feel this. It wasn't really pleasant, like during the night, and it carried into the next day, but it's a real great feeling when it just goes, it's just get that sense. This is healing, I am healing things here. It's very tempting. I was very tempted to allow despair to come in like the night before last and early yesterday, but it just feels so worth it when you feel it's moved through,
Yeah,
that's all I wanted to share. But
it's a miracle. It's beautiful. Yeah, and that's how healing is. I mean, I think when the despair is there, or if there's something deep coming up for healing, there can be a despair and some identification with darkness, with the past, and you think it will never heal. When you're in that state of mind. But you are the prayer. It's like you can only pray in that state, unless you would distract in some way, but you come pretty far. You realize distraction doesn't work. So you are actually allowing it to move through. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, we're here, so we're a text message away if anybody needs to join. Okay, love you, everyone.
Yeah, lots of love.
And I have my simplicity t-shirt on. Simplicity.
Yeah, we like it.
Be simple, simple-minded.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Mm.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.